And this is the same, but it's for Murray's Disposal, who does Pierce County solid waste and calling for us and recycling. And I've spoken with them, and they have the same summary. Basically, they'll extend what Waste Management is extending through June 30th of 2016.
So if King County doesn't extend the disposal of solid waste outside of King County, that means we need to work a provision in with Murray's to make sure that they just deliver the garbage from our city to King County.
We have a gentleman from Murray's here. Do you want to speak to it? Would you like to?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Go ahead, maybe you could ask.
Right now, we have an agreement with King County to deliver all of our solid waste to King County landfills or to
The
transfer station. Right
Pierce
now,
County portion also.
Right. And you guys are currently delivering it to Pierce County?
Correct.
And so would this hamper your operation if King County imposed this December 31st deadline, start January 1, that you have to deliver the waste to King County?
No, we could certainly do that.
Move to approve ordinance number 2014-1871.
Second. Councilmember Day.
And ditto what I spoke to on the previous one.
Councilmember Rivera. Any further comments from council? Comments from the audience?
Yeah. I'm Chief Local District Manager for Murray's Disposal, Waste Connections here in Pierce County. I appreciate the continue to serve our portion, and just remind you that you do have other options. We'd love the opportunity to serve the entire city also, but so be it if you want to explore that. So.
Thank you so much. Any other further comments from the audience? Seeing none, roll call of council. Councilmember Tate?
Aye.
Councilmember Olivera? Aye. Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Councilmember Steiger? Aye. Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Garberding? Aye. Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is Agenda Bill 14-148. And this is confirmation of the mayor's appointment to community development manager. In your packet, you have Jack Rogers' resume and its qualifications. I invited him here this evening to answer any questions that council may have before we go into executive session to discuss qualifications. So what I'd like to do is first invite Jack up, and if he could tell us a little bit about himself and let council know you just a little bit and allow them to ask any questions.
Mayor, council members. Yeah, I'm a Pacific resident. I've been living in Pacific since 1990. So I'm fairly familiar with the going-ons that have happened recently and in the past. Spent more than half my adult life in Pacific, and it's a very friendly town, and one I will continue to live in. And my wife and I really love it. And we raised our two daughters here, and now they're in Seattle and Tacoma. They took off. So, which is great. They were out of the house at 18, and they wanted to be out of the house. And I don't know if it's because of my wife and I policies on them, but they were independent girls. Like I said, I've been in city planning for over 30 years. Started my career with the city of Kent, worked there for 4 years, and then went on to work in Montana, which is a quite different environment working there. Plus, it's awful darn cold there in the wintertime. And then from there, I went to Yakima Valley Conference of Governments. Very interesting place to work. A lot of variety in the type of work we did. And then to the city of Buffalo for a few years, and then city of SeaTac there for 21 years. Was the second planner hired there and helped set up their whole department with the planning director at that time. And then left there to go to the city of Schoon. It's a few miles away from Pacific. My wife works in Tuckville, so it wasn't too much of an option to move over to Sequim. Got a little apartment over there, and I've been working there the past 3 years as their senior planner, head of all their current planning, RCEPA official, and shoreline administrator. So it's a really great place to work, but it'd be nice to be home. And that's really a real change to be considered for the community development manager here, because I live a quarter mile down the road on 3rd, easy walk to work, so it'll be a little bit different than a 110-mile drive to Sequim twice a week coming home versus just walking to work. But I'm pretty excited about the opportunity to work in the community I live in, to help the community out, try to bring it forward, I should say the community development department forward, and trying to get that up to speed to where it provides, and I'm sure it already does, provides a good public service to the residents. And I'm looking for the opportunity to work here, should that be the decision of the city council.
With that, I'll open it up for questions from the council.
You said you were with the city tax for 21 years?
Yes.
That's awesome. Can you share why you left after 21 years?
It's a long story, but it was for political reasons. I was the principal planner, which was the assistant director there, and there was a change of council that was very conservative, and they did not like some of the policies that the director was applying. And the policies were within the city codes and comprehensive plan, but due to ideas of major landowners and more conservative council, there was a decision to do a study on employee productivity, which essentially eliminated the position, my position, and the director's position. And so I won't go into more details on that. So.
Other questions from Councilmember Walker?
Can you give us an idea of what you would see in your first 6 months? What are your goals for the first 6 months?
Well, the first 6 months is just to see how the department is working. Just looking at some of the things I've heard already, looking at the city's website. I find it very, shall I say, limited in the amount of information you can provide the public on cities, processes, zoning codes, subdivision codes, maps. That needs to be updated as far as I'm concerned right away. So the citizens can come in and look at the website real quick if they have a quick question. And that's something I think needs to be updated in terms of I guess we'll call it the division. I'll have to sit down with city staff and see where things are, see how the codes are written. I want to see how that's written in terms of state law requirements. I want to see how when the last subdivision code comp plan was done, full update, because by state law you have to have full updates of your comprehensive plans. And I know looked like there was some community development block grant money that came through from what I saw on the website, but I have to see where that is. But first of all, see how it works. If there's portions of it that are working properly, don't fix it. Just keep going, keep working in that vein, because there are good staff in the city. So we have professionals here already, let them do their jobs. But where there's things that need to be tweaked or fixed or changed around a bit, we'll be looking at doing that. So I'll be putting a list together, actually on the first day if I'm hired, of course, and to start prioritize. It's been a long day. I was up at 3:30 this morning. You know what I'm trying to say. To prioritize the issues that may have to be resolved and changes that may have to be made.
I noticed that you were a city council member.
Yes.
A number of years here.
Yes, I was.
How do you feel that experience might benefit you in the new job?
Well, I can certainly tell how much paperwork you do get. It's a large amount of paperwork, and one of the things in my profession and in my career, in providing staff presentations, I like to keep them short and concise, not overdrawn, and provide the information beforehand where we have an opportunity to go through it. That way we can try to avoid long drawn-out council meetings, because I do know you just love being at long council meetings until the early morning hours. So I think it'll help. For me, I think it helps in knowing what the other side of the podium is looking at in terms of information and what they need to have in making your decisions.
I know SWIM has seen some rapid growth and lots of change, and be curious to know, what is your outlook on getting public participation in the planning changes that go along with any sort of change? We've had lots of public input about not having enough public input on various issues, and then when we have public input sessions, the public does not attend to provide input, so obviously something is not working right. What's your insight on that?
Well, that's a challenge for every city to get the public input in. There's different ways to do it. You have the open workshops, and quite often, a lot of times, staff may be the only people at the open workshops. To get the information out in the city newsletter or the billing that goes out, it may be providing for a website where they can provide input to various different issues that come up to the city that can be used towards input, for example, in the comprehensive plan change. You have websites where you can do quick surveys. I'm trying to remember the one that you can do it on, but where you can have people just go in and fill it out in their leisure for information. Another way to do it, which I found effective, is to offer, well, I say coffee clutches, where you provide the ability for residents, if you have maybe 6 residents that want to sit down in a private residence and over coffee talk about the issues that are coming up. That's one way to do it, and be available for that, whether it's an evening or a weekend. That's quite effective. And you do get a lot of input in those particular sessions, because it's more informal, so you can really exchange a lot of information in an informal setting. So, and then of course there's one method is to provide signage around town that, for example, what the city of SWIM did for the critical areas regulations, comp plan, update is have signage around town, just stating this is what's going on. These are the meetings versus, so that when people drive through, they can see it, they can take a look at it and make a decision whether to come to a meeting or not. But you need to get the message out there that something's going on. So one thing we do with the city of SWIM, with the local coffee houses or the baristas, we made a little sleeve called SWIM 120 to try to advertise the comp plan update. So when the people picked up the coffee, they had a sleeve and said, oh, what's this about? And had the opportunity to call in. So there's different ways to do it, but like I say, that's a challenge for every city I've worked in, is to get the public participation.
Councilmember Case.
One thing I've noticed, working for cities and government most of my life, and kind of being in a position to have to deal with some issues and zoning and planning and things like that, is staff can really guide the direction that something is going. How do you propose to ensure that the council makes the decision versus we're not rubber stamping for it?
Well, the bottom line is the council is the legislative authority to adopt different codes and ordinances. So in terms of providing guidance, what my method is to provide options. So you have options and what the pros and cons that goes with those options. And then and based upon public comment, then you could have a basis of background information in which to make a decision.
On public input again, you mentioned city newsletter or city website content. We don't currently have a city newsletter, and we don't currently have anyone whose position it is to generate that content for the website. Is that the sort of writing, the public summary of it, of issues? Is that something that you're comfortable with in your current position? Is that something that you're used to having staff do?
Well, that's usually what we have IT does. You put together the information that you want to have on the website, and IT puts it there underneath a particular heading. For example, it can be on the front page of the website, public meeting, comp plan, and then you can go into there. Also, you can have all the information, all the public meetings, the minutes from the meeting, and the most recent updates relative to what's going on with the comp plan update, or with any zoning code change if there's a zoning code change. So, but typically it's IT that gets in there to do that. Heraldry? Oh, that's a, well, heraldry is the coat of arms. The English, they have coat of arms, but they have the it's been a while since I've even done any heraldry, but what they call our memorials, what it is a listing of all the coat of arms that have been granted by the College of Arms in Britain. Then, of course, France has them, Germany has them, Scotland, Ireland. So it's one way to go back and check. If you're French, English, maybe German, Scottish, Irish descent, maybe Norwegian, you might be able to find in the armorials that you may have a coat of arms that has been issued to distant family members sometime way in the past.
So you've had, just looking at your resume, you have a lot of management experience?
Yes.
Can you explain and describe your management style?
My management style is that the staff that you have, they're professionals, let them do their work. If there's an issue, then we sit down with them and deal with the issue, whether it's through training, and usually you can take care of it through training. With additional training, it could be on organizational skills, it could be just additional training in the work that they're doing, in planning work, doing some more planning training. But I'm not a micromanager. When you get into micromanagement, it really slows things down, and in terms of the development review process, it slows that down because it goes through one person, next person, and someone else has to go through it. And if you have a professional that's doing the job, let them do it, let them make the decisions.
And you supervise and represent employees in that?
Yes.
Without stating any personal policy positions yourself, have you been keeping up to speed on the developing local marijuana regulation issues in Squid here?
Well, I've read Carol Morris. I've read her memo, and like I said, I won't make any suggestions. Let's just it's something that I don't know. It was before the Planning Commission last time I saw it. I don't know where they're at on it or what their recommendation is. I could share with you what the city of Squim, what their decision was on that, but it's really a decision that comes down to the council here, what they want to do with that.
Mostly just hoping you'll be ready to hit the ground running if whatever the direction is.
Okay, so, we got the consent agenda before. All right.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Hey, that was a quick one. Okay, at this time, we'd like to take 15 minutes to go into executive session to evaluate the qualifications of applicants for public employment per RCW 14.3. 15 minutes, and we will be making